Hello again. This is Anna Steinman from Grand Beach Realty, and I have again with us Chris Colston, credit advisor with DC Financial Services. How are you, Chris?
Doing well, Anna. Always great to see you. Always great to be part of this great podcast with you.
I love doing podcasts with you because we have a lot of views in YouTube, and a lot of people are trying to figure it out, right? How to repair the credit or how to improve their credit. So let's go. Let's explain to them, give them a brief explanation on how to do this and why it's so important. So can you explain the importance of having a good credit score when it comes to buying real estate, or when you have to refinance, or you want to buy a car, or even to get a personal loan or a loan for a business? Why is so important to have a good credit score here in United States?
It's very important because if we don't have a great credit score, we're overpaying for everything that we buy, that we finance. What do I mean by that? So if you don't have a perfect credit score, someone may still finance you. Someone may still approve you, but they're going to approve you at a higher interest rate. That means that your monthly payment's going to be higher, or you're going to need a higher down payment. So bottom line is, having a great credit saves you money that you will have available or disposable so you can do investments in the future. That's why it's so important to have great credit, because everything in the United States of America is based upon those three numbers. And we're not talking about weight, Anna. We're talking about your credit score. Those three numbers are so important. And the higher you have them, the more money you'll have in your bank.
Excellent. And what are some common misconceptions about the credit repair? And what would you say to dispel those myths?
Well, misconception number one is that your credit cannot be fixed.
Yes, exactly.
People think that, okay, I messed up. Now I have to pay the consequences. And those consequences could be 7 years to 10 years, Anna. So if you don't fix your credit, if you don't work with a professional to fix it, now you're going to be overpaying even more. Because when someone gives you a loan, now it's going to be at 19%, 25%, 29%. How much more money are you going to have available? You have to fix this problem, because this problem is not going to go away by itself. It can get fixed. There are laws that protect you as a client to be able to get this done and restart again the system so you can have great credit.
Yeah, I see that when I sell properties, and when we contact the lender and the first people have lower credit score than the average, their interest rate is much higher. So yeah, that's a good answer. So could you share?
And a higher down payment.
Yeah, exactly. And could you share some practical steps individuals can take to start repairing their credit and improving their credit score?
Pay down debt. Pay down your debt and make your payments on time. As long as you make your payments on time, that you don't miss a payment. What I mean by that, you cannot be 30 days late. If you miss a payment, you lose 60 to 100 points from 1 month to the other. And that negative blemish is going to be on your credit report for 7 years. So now you're going to have that negative scar, that black cloud following you for 7 years. So now what's going to happen is you're going to continue to overpay for items. Also, if you owe too much on your credit cards, your credit score drops. But also, if you owe too much on your credit cards, if you're not paying them off, you're paying 25% interest rates on those credit cards. So now you're overpaying for items. You're not going to have money left. And this is why we stay poor. This is why we're not moving forward in investments, in financial freedom, because they don't want to teach us about this. They want to keep us in debt. Because the more debt we have, the more money they make.
Yeah, and are there any specific strategies or techniques you recommend for individuals looking to boost their credit score quickly?
So item number one is do not buy items that you cannot pay off right away. Consider your credit card just like your debit card. If you cannot pay that lunch, if you cannot pay that dinner tomorrow, don't go. Don't go. Because what happens is that now we're putting this lunch, this dinner on a credit card. When the bill comes in, we're not paying it off. So now we're paying 25%, 29% on that. That's not helping you. Okay? Because now when we're trying to get out of debt, a lot of people tell me, Chris, how can I get out of debt? I got 3, 4, 5 credit cards. You have to concentrate on making the payment, the largest payment, or paying it off of the smallest debt possible. So if you have a credit card that has the smallest debt, that's the one that you send more payments to. The other 3 or 4, you send minimum payment.
Yeah, because
what happens is that
a lot of people have a lot of credit cards, and in one they have $500 debt, the other one $1,100, the other one $3,000, and they pay them all on time, but the minimum payment on each credit card, is that a good idea?
Not a good idea, because you're sending minimum payments to everybody, but you're not paying off. You're not reducing the debt on anyone. Concentrate on one. Focus all your energy, all your attention. Pay that off. When you pay that off, you're going to feel so good, because you're like, oh my God, one less account that I got to worry about. And then you're going to see your credit score goes up because you have a credit card paid off. You're like, this feels really good. And now you focus on the second smallest account. All right.
And
So it's called a
using the credit cards for a while, right? Try not to spend so much money.
Use a debit card.
Yeah,
We're on a debit card diet. We're on a debit card diet.
Yeah, exactly. So how long does it typically take for someone to see improvements in their credit after starting the credit repair process?
So with us at DC Financial Services, in 30 days, Anna, our customers start seeing increases in their credit scores in 30 days. So it's very rapidly. The reason why is because we have 22 years of experience. We know how the system, how the formula works, but we also have a full staff over here working 8 hours a day, working on your credit. But in 90 days, in 3 months, our customers usually see anywhere between 60 to 100 points more.
Wow. No,
that is world renowned type of improvement.
Yeah, but some people try to do it by themselves, right? So what are some of the common mistakes that people make when attempting to repair their credit by their own, and how can they avoid it?
Well, when someone tells me I'm going to try to do it by myself, that's going to be a long, hard road. I'm not saying that they can't do it, that they cannot research, that they can't do it. But you don't have the time and the dedication and the knowledge enough to fix it rapidly. Now, one of the number one mistake customers do is that they contact their creditors, the debtors, the collection company. Once you do that, you're saying, I am responsible for this account. I am responsible for this debt.
That money.
There are laws that protect the client. But once you call them, it's off. Bets are off.
To know your rights, because if you don't know your rights,
you have no rights. We help you. We help you protect your rights. So the law that we use to be able to fix someone's credit is the Fair Credit Report Act law. That's the law that we study. That's the law that we enforce to Equifax, to TransUnion, to Experian, and every single creditor, so we can eliminate and fix those errors from the past. Because if you don't know how to do that, the journey is going to be so long that what's going to happen, Anna, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to quit. And what happens with that? Nothing's happening. So your family did not get better. You did not get better because your credit is still tarnished. Save yourself time and headache. Hire a professional so that they can get this done for you.
Exactly. And talking about, what I'm seeing every day in real estate, right? When I'm trying to help some, a family to buy a property, and, the lender sees the credit score. They see that not only their credit score might be, low, but they have a lot of debts. Like, for example, it happened to me that, a lady has 2 daughters, and the 2 daughters have their own cars, but the car loan is under their mom's name. So the mom has her own loan plus 2 other ones. The girls are paying for their own car, but the mother is who has the credit. And this also lowers the credit score because now they have less money, to buy a property, because the bank will see the loan, the ratio, right? And if they see that they have a lot of debts, then they will not qualify the same, or they might not qualify. So
Correct.
what do you do at DC Financials for that?
So we actually have a great program in DC Financial Services that, if in this case of this lady, right, that she co-signed for both of her daughters, but co-signing for an automobile still says, I am the owner, I am part owner of this. So what we do here is that we get to refinance the automobile and put the automobiles under daughters' names by themselves. We have access to all the banks nationwide based upon credit scores. Someone has a great credit, someone has okay credit. We have banks that will do those lending. But when that happens, when the transfer or the refinance happens, the original loan gets paid off to 0. So meaning both credit scores go up. But when the daughter now gets her new automobile loan under her name, her credit score is also going to go up in the future.
Because it will show a new grade on her credit.
Correct. And then that she's paying well and on time. And maybe, and now they get to save money because now we got them a better interest rate than they got before. We do this process, Anna, in just 72 hours.
That's excellent. Great.
It is fantastic. So you don't have to go wait 30 days, 60 days, 72 hours. We can transfer a loan, a lease, anything from one person to the other person and alleviate the mom, in this case, from the debt. Because now she has 3 automobile payments, Anna, and the average automobile payment right now in 2023 is $781. So imagine she will have $2,100 in her credit report as debt.
Yeah, no, that's very, very hard. These people, they sometimes, most of the time they do not qualify for a loan when they do have these kind of issues. So, but we talk about, people that have low credit score and they want to improve their credit. But what happens with people that have very bad credit score? Let's say they have a bankruptcy, they have a foreclosure, they never pay their credit cards, or they stop paying some credit cards. Can DC Financial Services also help them to get back to a good credit score?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So we will first evaluate the credit report. We'll first see exactly what's going on and why it happened. And then we will start putting all the pieces together to help the clients fix the items from the past. But also, Anna, we have banks that give credit to our clients. We got banks that will give them loans, that will give them credit cards, that will help them reestablish credit. So we will help them fix their credit, but also we will help them reestablish credit. This is why the credit score goes up so quickly in the 90-day period, because we understand how the credit score formula works. It's not just fixing a problem. It's also what's missing. What can we add? What can we do to make this a whole lot better, quicker?
Yes, and what is important for me, for your professional services, is that people do not, they take it for granted, right? They say, oh, I can do it by myself, or I don't want to pay a professional to do it because I don't know whether they're good or not, or I don't want to spend that money. So they rather spend money on other things or taking a long time to repair the credit instead of contacting a professional that does this kind of work for so many years. And
Yep.
this can not only help them to buy a property, but they can refinance, they can do, they can have a investment properties, they can have, I don't know, they can do so many things with a good credit, because in the United States, if we don't have a good credit score, we are gone. I mean, we need a credit for everything, right? So even to buy a car, if you want to open a business and you need a loan.
Financial freedom. That is the word that we should be preaching. Financial freedom. If our credit is bad, we're overpaying for items. If we have too much debt, we're overpaying for items. If we're overpaying for items, we don't have any money left for us to save or for us to invest. So financial freedom is key. That's the focus.
Exactly. So Chris Colston also speaks Spanish. For those people that are interested in contacting him, his information is on the screen. Please do not hesitate to call him. Let's start your credit repair. Is very, very important. And I will be seeing Chris more often, doing podcasts and helping people on, on how to improve their credit. If you want to do it by yourself, try to do it. And if you see that you cannot do it because it takes a lot of time and a lot of good strategies, because you need strategies, right? I mean, you need techniques.
Yes.
You guys have
Correct.
a lot of techniques and strategies in order to, this works so much quickly. But so for those people that want to contact Chris, please do not hesitate to do it, or contact me, Anna Steinman from Grand Beach Realty. So again, Chris, thank you so very much for this podcast. I love doing this podcast with you and giving, the public all the information that they need.
A pleasure, Anna. Always great to see you.